Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday. And look at this, you guys get the comfy chairs. I'm like, wow, I heard auditorium and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have like 800 people in here. And it wasn't so bad, but I saw the comfy chairs and I was like, nice. My name is Kim Nelson. I'm one of the program managers on the finance and operations team. I was gonna be co-presenting with Stephen today, but unfortunately he got ill. So you just get to listen to me today. I'm going to talk a little bit about the investments that we've done in the project management area and expense management area in the past few months or 6 months or so. I'm going to talk a little bit, I guess I could move to the agenda, right? Talk a little bit about what's in process, what are we working on right now, and some roadmap, and I will definitely have plenty of time for Q&A. So before we get started, how many of you are using the project management module in finance and operations today? Oh, everybody. Well, that's even more awesome. How about, are any of you using the PSA or the project service automation product? Just a few of you. Are you running with the data integrator, or you have your own integration, or? Cool. Well, I'm not going to talk about that today. So it was just a teaser. So what's new and what's shipped? As you know, we're in this one version. If anyone was in the last session with Shelly talking about one version. So we're releasing every month. So features, they're showing up left and right, which is pretty awesome for us. So in the 10.0.2 release, which is the current GA release, we have support for sales orders with multiple funding sources. And we prioritize this one. I know everyone wants item requirements, so I will caution you that it is not implemented for item requirement support, but it is for sales order support. And the prime reason for that is for the revenue recognition functionality that the financials team brought. If anybody's interested a little bit more in that, there is a session, Christy's doing a session at 1 o'clock on revenue recognition, so you can get more detail on that. But it does support time and material projects through the sales orders, so we needed to make sure that we could support that if there were multiple funding sources. Mobile timesheet, I think a year ago we kind of teased it a little bit that was something we were working on. We've actually shipped a mobile timesheet app, not just time entry, but you can actually create, manage, approve your timesheets through a Xamarin app. So it's not on our mobile platform, but it's natively built through Xamarin. So I'll demo that today. And then we have a new enhanced expense management experience. Oh, I should mention the mobile timesheet app did ship with 10.0, so it's been out there a little bit longer. And the enhanced expense management experience is coming with 10.0.3. So that's kind of exciting. We worked with probably a few of you in the audience on some of that work. So I'm not really into slides, so I like to get into the product a little bit. So I'm going to switch over to the slides. They do some of that little captioning, so the screen isn't as big as I like it. But I'm gonna, this feature came in before the feature management functionality that's now enabled in finance and operations, so I don't have a feature to turn this on. We do try not to just ship features out of the box turned on and enabled anymore. We kind of want everybody to train their users, turn it on when they so choose. So what we have done in the project management and accounting parameters form, we added, yay, another parameter. And it's right under sales order, and it's called allow sales orders for projects with multiple funding sources. So once you have that turned on, the sales order button lights up for any projects that are related to contracts with multiple funding sources. So if I go into the project contract, I just want to kind of show you what I've done. I have a contract that I've already created, and close that up. And I have 3 funding sources listed for this contract, and one of them is even a grant. That also wasn't supported to do a sales order for a contract that had a grant as a funding source, and now we've lit that up as well. So it doesn't have to, you could just have a grant on a contract and you could do a sales order now. And it will pull the customer from the grant as the sales order customer. So I will go ahead and go into projects, and I've created a new project called Neighborhood Park. I guess I felt like going outside. Should have warmed up my system a little bit. I'll try to make it a little bigger. How's that? A little bigger? Even bigger? Everybody needs their readers on today? Okay. So on the Manage tab of the project, right, we'll go in under Item Task, and you'll see that Sales Orders has lit up. And what we'll do now, and if you only have one customer on there, we will default it. But otherwise, we have a new field on the Create Sales Order dialog that's called Funding Source. And what it'll do is it'll give you the funding sources from the contract, and you can select which funding source this sales order will be applied to, because that's who will actually get invoiced for it. So I can just pick a customer and, and create my sales order from there and go on. And then when you do your project invoices and you pull those sales orders in, it'll be invoiced to that customer, that funding source. Okay. Back to the slides really quick for one click. Next, we're going to go into the timesheet, and I did get my mobile phone going, so let me make sure I'm logged in because it times out all the time, as all mobile devices do. And pop it over. Yay. So this is our new mobile timesheet app, and I'll show you some things also in the product and where you turn it on. But this one is called, if you go into either the App Store or the Google Store, it is called Dynamics 365 Project Timesheet, I believe. So it's a little different than the unified application. By default, it will come in if I have an open or a draft timesheet already in the system, which I was already playing around and I created a new timesheet, but I can always do that again by going in here and entering my date. So maybe I'll go back to May, or maybe I'll go back a little ways. Whoa, slow down. Yeah. Pick me. It doesn't want to pick me. Okay, we'll just stay there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create a timesheet, but I might already have one for this one, maybe not. And then I can enter time. So to add time, I just click Add Time, Enter Project, and depending on which release you're on, I'm not sure if that's been fixed. But there was a bug if you selected your customer first and then the project. So if you get an error, then pick your project first. But here you can select all your recent projects. So this is what you've been logging time on. That's the default view. If you were assigned any projects through the setup, you would see that, or all of your projects. And then you can just pick a project, pick your activity, in your category, and you can set up to have the line property default if there's a default setup. And I will show you all that. And then you just come down and you start entering the time. And this is kind of cool because I can say, I entered 3 on this day, and I can just continuously enter my time. I can also add comments in here. So I like to do my internal because I like to show they're different, but you could have whatever comments. The external comments are what will generate on the customer invoice. The internal are just typically for your reviewer. And save that, and save. And what I wanted to hopefully allow you to see is at the bottom of underneath the Wednesday, there's a little note icon that's telling you that there's some comments in there, so you can view that. If I hit save, we'll start calculating totals. You'll be able to see how many totals per day, totals for the timesheet up on top so far that I've entered. I can see for each day. I can choose to show comments by clicking that, and then you'll see the comments listed below. If I had logged against different projects, I can change and view my totals by project or by day, whatever I prefer. And then I go ahead and submit that. So now if I jump over to Finance and Operations and go to Timesheets, it should be already here. I had one. The other one before was in draft, but if I click on this one, I think this is the right date. Yep, there's my timesheet, the hours I just entered, and if I go to Wednesday, there'll be some comments at the bottom. So it's that quick, that fast, and easy. And if you were an approver, you could actually approve as well in the timesheet app. I did want to go to the parameters form real quick to show you some of the differences on the configuration. So on the timesheet tab in the parameters form, there's mobile timesheets area, and you can choose to whether you want to display or hide or make certain fields read-only on the mobile device. This app does follow these rules, but if you want to use this new project timesheet app, you need to enable the Dynamics 365 project timesheet. Otherwise, it's just you could have the other app as well for the time entry. Great. Okay, and this deck, as I go back to it, has screenshots in here. So let me scroll past all those in case we were worried, in case the app didn't, or the wireless didn't work. So, but it did. So good. I think it's going to get there. Well, maybe I'll have to go through it. Okay. I tried. So there's just a bunch of screenshots in here. And then we'll get to expense. Yep, we have a lot of screenshots. Okay, enhanced expense experience. This is also another area that we got a lot of feedback from. One of the things, how many of you get that little annoying little pop-up that shows up and says, hey, would you recommend this to your best friend? And do you have any feedback for us? Nobody? Yes? Everybody? Yeah. So I actually am in on the rotation that does look at those comments and tags them for our leadership to review. But we did get a lot of feedback, mostly on the time and mostly on expense, because that's an employee function, right? They're not used to being in the system. So what we've done is we took a team that focused on the browser for expense to begin with, while the timesheet team was working on the mobile experience. But they went after 4 key tenets around being intuitive, looking at what does the customer want, powerful and fluid. We did engage with 10 customers in a process that we call Moneyball. Moneyball is a process where we bring the customers into the whole design process right from the get-go, and they basically help us design. We get a lot of feedback, a lot of input, so instead of us designing and coding something and then giving it out and getting feedback after the fact, we're getting it up front. So 10 of our customers, some of which in this room, did help with that, participate with that, and I guess they put on a lot of deliverables and a lot of work items. This lists out some of the features. I don't need to go through that. I'll do more of a demo of what it is, but what we're trying to do around the whole thing is take an employee through the process of building an expense report instead of making them try to figure out why they're getting errors, why they can't submit their expense report, how do I put it, add in a receipt, what does itemization mean, where do I go, all of those kinds of things that they don't really know. So I will do the demo again. So let me pop over. So with expense, we have let me go to the feature key first. This one is behind a feature key. So in feature management, so by default, you just have the old workspace, and that's still there. You can use both. This new functionality isn't exactly at parity yet with the existing functionality. So for example, if you use per diem, it doesn't support per diem yet. So so sometimes you might have to be in both. It's still the same data, so you can choose to hold off on enabling this. I have already enabled it, so it's in my all. Plus, you're getting a sneak peek of some things that were coming up because this is a 10.05 build. But there's this expense reports reimagined, and that's what would need to be enabled to do that. And if I click on the learn more, there's a whole documentation around what's in here. And there's a getting started video and everything like that. So we're trying to make sure that your employees aren't just given something new, a new experience that they also will struggle with. I don't know why that pop-up came. So we'll go back to expense. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. There is a new visibility related to this feature that breaks it out a little bit more on whether a field is recommended or do not display, and you can get down to that. The expense report is like the expense report header. The expenses are the lines, and then you could even get into like what categories do you want to see, what information on the hotel related to hotels or car rentals or airlines right now. Probably because they may be set up for itemization. But the different options, are recommended. So we recommend that you enter it, or you're recommending that your employee enter it. It's required data for you, or it's optional. All right, so let's go into the new experience. So there is a workspace related to this now. And this one gives a little bit more information around the expenses that you have out there. So you can see if you have any open expense reports, you can see some counts. I have a receipt up there that's not attached to any expense yet. I have 19 expenses that haven't been reconciled into a report yet. And I'm not an approver, so I don't have anything out here to approve. So if I go ahead and create a new expense report, give it a title. I have the option of adding all my expenses that are out there now instead of individually selecting them, or I can pick them one at a time. I'm going to do that and not add them all, and I'll show the different ones. I could also add all the receipts into the report as well if I wanted to. I'll keep that one in there since I'll need to add a receipt. And I'll go ahead and create the report. And some of the next steps are in there, and I've set up a policy that says if I have a expense that's $25 or greater, I need to add a receipt. That's pretty common. Actually, maybe some of you even require it all the time. The receipt one is usually there. I can choose to do a new manual expense just by clicking on new expense, or I can click on unattached, and these are all of those 19 expenses that were sitting in my list, so my credit card transactions that came in, and I can go ahead and pick a couple that I want to take just for fun. And then what it'll do is now it's going to tell me that I have a big red X. So the employee gets a visual that, hey, there's something wrong here. But it's also telling me that I can look at the policies. So if I do the drop down, it's going to tell me what I need. And if there's multiple policy errors here, they'll all be listed here. So I can actually see what I have to do. And so as I walk through here, then it says, oh, I need to do a receipt. So now I can take my action of adding a receipt. Somewhere. Attach the receipt. And then if a receipt, I could select an existing. So if I already had it up there, I can see it. So I'll just grab that one. I know it's a Marriott. It's going to go to all my expenses for now. But I can also even look at my receipts too. So when I'm looking at them, I can actually see a viewer of the receipt on the side. So that's kind of some information there. It's good for the reviewer to be able to see this, or the approver. And basically I can do save and continue, and it'll take me to the next line. Oh, I still have a policy error. What is that policy error? I need a receipt. So now I can take action to attach the receipt. I don't have to, all it is take the user to go to the action. They don't have to go try and click around and try to find where do I add it. And they can upload a new one or continue to select the good old Marriott that I stayed at. And just continue through. And as you can see that I start getting a green check mark as things meet the requirements, that I can go ahead and submit it with no issues or no concerns. So now everything, my whole report says I'm green, and I can just choose to submit at that point. So that's, hopefully the employees will find a better experience with doing expense reports. And as I mentioned before, the old experience is still there, and this expense management here is the new workspace that I was just in, but if I go under my expenses, expense reports, this is the old experience, and then you can walk through that as well. So both of them are still there. For example, if you do need to do per diem, because that one's still a roadmap item for us, you could go into there, but you're seeing all the expense reports that I just did. So I just did that first one, that conference trip, so the data's still there, so if they'd started in one, they could go to the other experience to do that, or add the expenses in. Okay, let's go back to, I think there's some screenshots in here too. So what are we working on right now? We are working on integration with Universal Resource Scheduling tool. How many of you use resource management in project today? A few of you. Did any of you get to Russell's theater session yesterday? Good? Okay, good. If you didn't get to that, it will be available for download. They do record those theater presentations. He did a really good job of presenting what we're working on, and he had a video of what it would look like. So if anybody has additional questions, you can certainly reach out to me, and I'll get you in contact with Russell. My alias is K Nelson, Knelson at Microsoft.com, so pretty simple to remember. So Universal Resource Scheduling is a tool up on CDS. The reason we're going after this is because of a couple of reasons. One, as we have some performance issues with the resource management tool in finance and operations. And the second one is really around usability. It's a little clunky, you gotta click to a lot of places. We believe the schedule board is a much better experience for people that are staffing their projects. And we are targeting the October wave. I think that's now called, I think they changed the name again, so it's 2019 wave, release 2019 wave 2, something like that, but it'll be the October wave. So I have a picture of the schedule board on here. This is what the schedule board looks like. It's very similar experience to what you do in finance and operations, but it's quicker and it is a little slicker. this will be iframed right into finance and operations. That's our plan. So it's not like we're making a user log into another system or another tool. We will initially implement this with a scaled down version of CDS, so it's a little private version of it that will just have URS enabled for our customers. And then in the next wave after that, we will work to how do I point it to a named organization. So if I'm already using URS for field service, or if you also have PSA going on, this is the tool that they use for scheduling. So the cool part of finance and operations going up and using the schedule board is now I can look at all of my resources across field service and project together. So that's kind of a good thing there. So roadmap. Roadmap's always a fun thing. This is where are we going? So yes, we have a few project assets in our organization. And one of the cool things that we've done is we've brought the PSA team and the finance and operations, project management and expense team into one team. We're growing, we're investing, we're hiring like crazy. So we are planning to invest. So when I talk about our different project assets, we start with we have Project Online out there, right? That's Microsoft, our Office Project Online. PSA allows you to do billable projects, more targeted towards resource heavy or resource intensive, so you like a professional services organization. And then you have finance and operations project management, which focuses more like if you have products, it's good with our ISV community, of course, around construction, engineer to order, materials intensive. But what do they all have in common? They're really all managing projects, right? So what you'll see us working on is the Office project team is working to re-platform project onto CDS and what they're calling project service. And that is slated for Q3 of fiscal year 20, so this fall. So that'll be project. It won't quite be project online to start, but they'll be working their way there. And then shortly after that, the PSA product will become the project. It will become an add-on to projects. So they'll add all the sales components and pricing components to Microsoft Project, all on CDS. And then from a finance and operations side, we're going to do what we need to do to align data models so that we can start using the dual write sync. And so if you have projects that originate in PSA, we can sync them right into finance and operations and handle the revenue recognition and invoicing, the accounts receivable, accounts payable, all of that function. So when I talk a little bit about features, from an expense management perspective, what the team is going to do is, you saw the Xamarin app on mobile timesheet. They're going to look to take and add a receipt capture function into that Xamarin app. So that's the first step in trying to bring mobile expense to a Xamarin app. So we'll start with the receipt capture. And I'm not sure exactly if that's targeting this fall release or if it'll go past, but I think that is one of the October wave features. For project, what we're going to do, and this is huge. This is a really impactful to our ISVs, but our customers are asking for it, and that is to remove that dependency of project type on project, or project on project type, right? So we have projects that they say they're fixed price, or they're time and material, or they're a cost project, or an investment project. So we have that type field out there. And then that requires you, if you have a scenario where I have a contract with the customer and I have a fixed price portion and I have a time and material portion, I have to create sub-projects. And then I can't really manage my project in one. I can't get a good view of the schedule of the project because I'm going across sub-projects. So what this feature will do is remove that project type from project and move it over to the project contract into what today is billing rules, but will be more renamed to be contract lines. And on the contract line, you would be able to select, is it a fixed price, this line, is it a fixed price or is it a time and material? All those internal versions would go away. So that means if you don't have a contract, we're just going to track your costs on the project. There's no revenue. So those are how internal projects would be managed without a contract. Once you have a contract, we can catch up your revenue if you so choose or make it a go-forward place. This also means the fixed asset integration also opens up a little bit more. So today you have to have it as an investment project only. So what we could do there is make it be for any project where we can take the costs over and capitalize the costs. And then the other one is the project group. We're going to move the revenue portion of project groups, like am I tracking WIP? Is it, if it's fixed price, is it percent complete or completed contract, that stuff, into another entity. Right now, I'm throwing out like a project revenue profile or something like that. We're working on the name. And that also go on the contract line. So you could even have a project that has a portion of the fixed price that's doing percent complete, and another, that same project having a portion being completed contract if you needed to. And then project group itself becomes more of a defaulting thing and an optional thing. So it's not there's hardly going to be any fields in there. So this is a pretty big undertaking that we're doing. We're still working through the design right now, and then bringing in the ISV communities as we get a design figured out so that they can work on that. We're going to have a preview program for the ISVs so they can get their hands on the code a little quicker so that they can also react to this. I think that was, I knew I had lots of times for questions. So who's got the first question? You do. I'll repeat them. So. So the question was, when we move the billing type or the project type to the billing rules, what's going to happen to the on-account transactions? Is that what you're looking for? Those don't change. Those are really still used for the fixed price. We're going to have to, the project still is also, you're picking which project is on that contract line as well. So we'll know which on-account line it goes to. We're going to have to create billing rules, for everything. Yeah, it's going to be one of those that we'd probably put a feature in the feature management, and all that would do is light up some other parameter. And then when that parameter gets turned on, you're going to have all those red flags, and maybe we'll ask you 5 times if you're really, really sure you want to do this, because there's no way you're going to be able to go back. And the reason for that is we are going to have to move your data, and we're going to have to migrate your data. And so we'll probably have to, depending on once engineering gets through as to how long it would take, we'd probably have to have a schedule and determine whether you actually need to be down during it. We don't know yet. I mean, like in your off hours, or don't enter project time during this time, or that kind of thing. I don't mean by downtime like you have to go into maintenance mode, but we'd probably tell you not to do project stuff then. Okay, in the back. Mm-hmm. So there's a question on the mobile timesheet of whether there's an option to set what type of time, whether it's registration time and regular or no, I don't think we have that. Let's look really quick. I don't think that was in that one. I don't think we had that in the other product either. So it's just these fields. So no, we don't. But great suggestion. Add it to the ideas list that we do look at. Yeah. So for the mobile timesheet, can you do intercompany projects on there? Yes, you can. You can pick the project from another company, and then it's just creating a timesheet in the back, just like it normally does. So yes, it's supported. Somebody back there, yeah, he was first, so we'll go to you next. Okay. For around the expense, the receipt capture for the mobile, that would have been a Stephen question. Stephen was the one that's working on that. I think there is supposed to be a little bit more function around there. I know that he was looking at having the actual expense get created. I don't know if that function will be there in the first round or not, but I know that was stuff that they were looking to do. So I don't want to promise too much, but you know. It would be in that Xamarin app. So not the framework, the mobile framework that we ship with. It would be in a separate app, yeah. Okay. For the mobile timesheet app, is the clock in, clock out available? No, that was looked at, and I think we just ran out of time to ship it. So it's a backlog item for us for the start and stop times. Is there an option to geotag or put a location in for the time? I don't believe so, because these are really all the fields that we have on there, and there's no location. So I would ask you to log that as an idea, so we can get that in there. Okay, so she was a little surprised that I attached the same receipt to multiple lines, and she was wondering if that was a parameter setting. I don't believe that's a parameter setting. I think that's actually, I've actually had trips where I have the same receipt on multiple lines, just because I've had to split. They're not the same category, so I've had to do it where the same thing. Yeah, and I don't know if you could build a policy that way that just there might be. I'd have to look through the policy framework to see if there's an option there that can say that, where at least you can get a warning there. Mm-hmm. So the question you have you're still on AX 2012, and you're able to see the same project in all of the companies. Is that in the? Oh, you can't see the projects and all of a project in other legal entities. Well, a project does belong to a legal entity, but I don't remember what 2012 looks like, because I don't think I worked on it. But we do have the company picker here, so I could pick all of my companies if I wanted, and then I could see all my projects in the list. And I don't know if that was available in 2012 or not. So. Do we have shared projects? No. The project is striped by a data area in the table. We do have one customer that is sharing their projects in a kind of a private code thing that we're working with on whether we can take that in, and then it's just getting all of the dependencies also shared. It's not that, virtual company was never a real easy thing, because you had to remember all of the data. Yep, you're using Management Reporter and you have project as a dimension. Yep. Okay. Yep. So Will the universal resource scheduling tool be an additional license? Russell, it won't be, right? No, for this initial release, you just get it, and it'll be feature enabled, feature key or feature management. If you turn it on, it'll be an option for you. Yep. Yep. In which area? Okay, so what you're doing is you entered a project at an expense report header. It defaulted down to all the lines, and then once those lines were created, you went and changed the project at the header. No, that would actually have to be a feature request because we don't know that you really mean that to happen. So there needs to be a question asked, like, do you want to update all the lines with this project? Because you could have it up at the header and roll it down and then start changing the project at the different lines. But that would be a feature request that we'd have to ask. It's not implemented today, no. The move away from project group, does that mean we won't have any financial integration at that level? Correct. Well, what we're doing is pulling all of that revenue and financial piece of it into another entity. So it wouldn't be part of project group. It would be, I think we're calling it like project revenue profile or something like that, and that would also get attached there. So that's where all that would come through. Is time and the URS integrated with the new EAM solution or enterprise asset management that the supply chain team has acquired and working on? That is not integrated today at all, but I know they do create investment projects underneath the covers and go through that, but they have they're actually really excited about the data model changes that we're doing because that actually will open up the doors for them to allow them to have billable back to their customers as well. So I think in the long run, it'll be a roadmap thing to start using a little bit more shared time. I know we do want to get to one time app. We have a lot of time applications out there for different, field service, project, shop floor, different ways to do it, and we do want to get there to one solution at one point. That is definitely roadmap. Yes.
So follow up to the
Uh-huh. Okay, so the revenue recognition around deferring your revenue following IFRS 15, I'm assuming. You've had to always customize that, with project, right, because we recognize the revenue right away. Well, the finance team acquired the license to the IP from Armanino for their revenue recognition functionality. Christy's doing that session at 1 o'clock today. That's going to be coming out in the product this fall, and they use that through sales orders, and project is also supported through that. So if you're selling product or selling services or other types of things that you need to defer that revenue, you would set that up through there, and you would create the sales orders from the project there, and then it still gets invoiced through project just like normal, but the deferral rules would follow how you set up the revenue recognition. And then they have different schedules, so you can have, I did a support service or a warranty and it's good for 12 months, so I'm going to recognize that over 12 months versus I'm going to install something in 3 months. So I'm not going to recognize the revenue today, but I'll recognize it in 3 months. So your accountant takes over on that stuff. Yeah, so that's where that part is going to come in. So If you're available at 1 o'clock to go to Christie's session, I would recommend you go to that to see if that takes away your customization. Yep. Is it possible to copy activities from one project to another? When you say that, mm-hmm. So, mm-hmm. Yeah, so the copy project wizard gives you the opportunity to copy the WBS structure as well, or you could create templates from your WBS, and when you create a new WBS, you can import that in from a template, and that'll create the activities for that. Yep. Any other questions? Yes. Does the new expense management experience apply to the existing mobile experience? Yeah, the one that we have today. No. Did you have usability issues with the mobile expense? Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, this one was just focused on the browser experience and not the mobile, but I think what they're going to do is start adding it to that Xamarin app that we have, and so the experience could be a little different when we get to that. Yep. There's no way to enter per diem at all in the new expense experience. They didn't get that. They ran out of time on getting that one done. So that's one of the backlog items. I would say by April that'll get taken care of. Because in the end, we don't need you to have two ways to enter expense in there. So in order for us to deprecate one form, we have to make sure we have parity in the other form. So it was just they instead of trying to change the existing form, they added a new form. So there are two experiences right now. Yeah, so is the change for the project type and project group go through feature management? Absolutely. Yeah, so what I'm thinking will happen is we'll put the feature out there, and it'll probably take a year before we start saying that's going to be the default experience. And then a year after that, we can say we're going to deprecate the old one. And then a year after that, we can actually get rid of it. So it takes us like about 3 years anymore to 2.5 to 3 years for us to actually remove any functionality because we don't want to break ISV solutions or break any customizations, but give plenty of time to move people to the other way. But that is the direction we're going to go. But it'll probably take us a couple years before everybody's doing it. For new implementations, do I recommend that you wait for this functionality? No, I don't. It probably won't come. I mean, I have it on there as the April 2020. It's a long way away. I wouldn't wait for that. We will just move your data if that's the way you want. But if you have an ISV solution implemented, that'll also come into play and when you can turn it on, because it depends on how dependent the solution is on that project type. And if they are dependent on it, they need to also make a change, or they have to support both ways. Even like that enterprise asset management, if anybody was in the earlier session this morning with the supply chain team, that also is impacted. So they're also going to have to support that kind of functionality as well. So we're already talking with them too. Yep, so yeah, we'll help you move the data. Yes, we will provide data migration. I just don't know exactly how it'll be done yet, but My guess is it'll have to be something that you schedule, that we would run a script in the background. It's not like a downtime thing, but that we would have a script that would create these, which is why I would probably say you probably don't want to be logging time and other things against those projects while we're trying to reset up everything. So it would probably want to be a planned event, but I just don't know what that will be yet. The engineers haven't gotten that far. So all we have right now is I have my spec and a really high level design, and we're gonna start the deep dive design pretty soon, and then we'll get more. I think you got it first. Yep. Is the timesheet to earnings statement with the mobile? Yeah, I think the payroll team owns that. I don't have. Is that a public sector? No? Yeah, then it's probably the payroll team that owns that, not the project team. So I don't know anything about that. You can send me an email and I can chase that down where it is. Yep. When we start integrating with CDS, are there changes with licensing? I don't think that would be a driver of changes of licensing, but every finance and operations gets a CDS environment. So if you're just syncing to CDS, there's no change at this point that I'm aware of. If you're adding another product on there, that's if you're having PSA on there, that's a different license as well. I'm in the R&D group, so I don't have good knowledge of what's going on with the licensing, but I would imagine if there's any changes, they would be announced in the next 3 months or so, if there's anything that would be impacted. But yeah, this feature wouldn't change anything there. Any other questions? With item requirements, is the multiple funding sources, sales orders with multiple funding sources working with item requirements? No, sorry. That one is like our number 2 feature request right now. So I'm trying to get that into the schedule. It shouldn't be as bad. It's just we have to be able to have the user pick the funding source, because on the item requirement today, there's nothing in the UI to do that. So it shouldn't be that bad, but I don't know. I just need some more resources. So we're trying to hire, trust me. So yeah, if you know any engineers. Okay, I'm not recruiting. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day. And if you have more questions, I'm doing a little theater for Stephen as well at 1 o'clock. It's time and expense again, so you can go to RevRec if you want. All right, thank you.